This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're here at the SeeThruEquity and the Brewer Group's second annual Innovations Investor Conference 2016 in Miami, Florida. With me right now is Steve Snyder from MTBC. The symbol is MTBC. Steve, welcome to SNNLive.
Thanks so much. Great to be here.
It's great to have you. So for our audience, let's get an overview of the company.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So the name of the company is MTBC. We work with providers, healthcare providers throughout the country. We have a proprietary technology platform that allows healthcare providers in small to medium-sized practices reduce their costs, earn more, and improve their clinical workflows.
Okay, so healthcare IT company. Let's unwrap that a little bit. Tell me what's included in your technology solutions.
Our technology solutions include electronic health records applications. So that's the electronic charting, the electronic version of the paper chart. It includes end-to-end revenue cycle management. So that's ensuring that healthcare providers are properly reimbursed for the services they're providing to patients. And also it includes practice management services. So for instance, real-time eligibility and deductible details. And that entire web-based platform is further extended to the mobile health platform through a group of 6 or 7 mobile health applications that allow providers to electronically prescribe on the go, allow patients to check in on the day of the appointment and securely communicate with practices, and do a whole host of other things.
So how did the company come to be? I mean, was everything developed in-house, or were certain bits and pieces acquired and then fit together to make the suite of solutions that you have now?
So at our core, we're a revenue cycle management company. So we started by helping practices earn more and reduce their expenses. So the way that the industry has moved today is revenue cycle management alone is an inadequate standalone solution. So about 8 years ago or 9 years ago, we began development of our proprietary platform, our electronic health records platform, the clinical component. And our practice management platform was actually, the development of that began about 11 years ago. So we've developed this entire platform to allow providers really to achieve those objectives that we spoke about. Improve workflows, earn more, and reduce expenses.
That leads into my next question. How does your suite of solutions do that?
It really streamlines the entire process. So we help practices from the very beginning of the scheduling of an encounter, obtain the right information. Our system then automatically reaches out to patients to remind them of the appointment through text alerts, through emails, through automated calls to ensure that they actually show up on the appointment. Our platform then walks them through the entire clinical component of the encounter. As they check out, our platform allows them to ensure that the front desk collects all the information necessary to ensure that payment in fact occurs. And then if we fast forward in time, we handle the entire reimbursement cycle relative to that encounter, and then also empower patients with the tools that they need to schedule the next appointment, to obtain a clinical chart, the notes from that encounter, to receive lab results electronically and the like.
So who's the company's target market? Because there's so many different sizes of practices. So who do you guys go after?
Yeah, we really see the opportunity in the small to medium-sized practices. So 70% of the ambulatory healthcare market is comprised of groups of 1 to 10 providers. We think this particular segment of the market is underserved, so we've really built a world-class platform that specifically is designed for their unique needs.
And what's the size of that market?
The size of that market is roughly 70% of the overall ambulatory market. The numbers there vary, but in terms of the addressable market, it's in excess of $13 billion.
Okay, so another thing that I want to know a little bit more about is, you talk about the change in landscape, how everything is going more on the technology side. So has everything that you developed, is it 2.0, 3.0? How do you now fit into that?
Yeah. So from the perspective of our platform, again, since we've been working to develop this platform for many years, and we've built it around the revenue cycle management component, it's completely intertwined with the revenue cycle management component, which really well positions us and our providers for what's happening in this space. So the market is moving away from a traditional fee-for-service model to a model where reimbursements are tied to the outcomes of the clinical the clinical component of the service. So practices and providers who deliver better care over time will receive more generous reimbursements. So while once upon a time the two were very separate, our platform has completely fused the two together. And our platform itself is used by thousands of providers throughout the country. For instance, one of the big things that happened recently in this last year was a movement from ICD-9 to ICD-10, the changing of the code sets. And our mobile health application was a top mobile health app used for this conversion from long before that October deadline for the conversion. It continues to be the most popular app. And that's just one example of the overall platform that's an award-winning platform.
And also I want to know is, can anybody just get into this space? Can anybody just go out, develop your suite of solutions and do it? Or do you need to get like a certification, or just is it time? So can you comment on that?
Sure. So that's a great question. We, over time, have built a team of almost 1,700 team members. We have more than 200 IT R&D team members who have been working on building our platform for years and years and years. And we certainly welcome others to jump into the space. It's good for the overall healthcare industry to have more competition. But the reality is, I think we're very well positioned. While others can come into the space, there are significant barriers to entry. We've, from a scale perspective, in terms of the strength of our platform and our footprint throughout the country, we've really gotten a great head start. So the barriers to entry are pretty significant in our space.
And what are some of the growth drivers for your business?
Yeah. So the overall movement towards technology is coming from a number of different angles. From the industry itself, hospitals are increasingly requiring practices to be utilizing technology to have privileges in the hospital. The payers are increasingly requiring practices to be leveraging technology and providing certain data points from a reporting perspective in order to receive optimal reimbursements. So the driving force is coming both from a regulatory perspective and also from a more holistic, ground-up market perspective. And those forces are coalescing to drive providers to solutions like ours that are true end-to-end comprehensive solutions.
So, and what's your background? How did you get into MTBC?
So I'm a lawyer by background. I joined MTBC as general counsel. Our company was started by Mahmoud Haq, who's our CEO and chairman today. And Mahmoud, years ago, was trying to help his wife, who's a physician, find a solution that would meet her needs. He looked and he looked and he couldn't find a solution that he thought was a good fit and he felt comfortable having his wife use. So he said, let me build a solution. And that's really where this whole thing began.
A true entrepreneurship story right there.
Absolutely.
So we're in the middle of 2016, the first quarter of 2016. And what I want to know, from what you can tell me, moving ahead, what are some of the goals and milestones for the company?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We went public in 2014, in July of 2014. At the time of going public, we acquired other companies in this space. It's a highly fragmented market. So we expect to continue to acquire companies where we can really add value. Medical billing companies that don't have their own proprietary platform, don't have the scale, the expertise, and the structure that we have. We intend to continue to acquire companies throughout the year. Our most recent acquisition was about a week ago, and we look forward to many additional acquisitions. We have already released our targets for the year, and they're available publicly. So we expect to be at about 30 million, 27 to 30 million by the end of the year. We're EBITDA positive, and again, excited about what's happening in the industry and how we're positioned.
And where can our audience go and find more information about the company?
Great question. They can go to mtbc.com and learn everything you want to learn about us.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're here at the SeeThruEquity and the Brewer Group's second annual Innovations Investor Conference 2016 in Miami, Florida. With me again has been Steve Snyder from MTBC. The symbol is MTBC. And Steve, thank you so much for coming on to SNNLive.
Oh, thank you. Pleasure.